everyone, welcome to episode 28 of Pineapple Knits. I'm Marina, and you can visit me on Instagram and Ravelry at PINEAPPLEYARN, and you can visit my hand-dyed yarn company at PINEAPPLEYARN.com. Welcome back to the podcast this week. It has been so long since I recorded a podcast, and my life has just been so crazy, and I know I say that every week, but it really has reached a whole nother level. It's the beginning of January, so happy new year. Time to turn over a new leaf and all that. But yeah, so it has just been really crazy over the holidays. I really feel like after Thanksgiving, someone just flipped a switch. My kids went crazy, and ever since then, my life has been a little nuts. So podcast had to go by the wayside. I think I actually posted on Instagram a while back that my kids all had a stomach bug. Lucky me. So I was dealing with that for a couple of weeks, and then we had Christmas, and then everyone got a cold. So I'm just coming off the tail end of that and recovering, but we're all good. Nothing too serious, so I'm thankful for that. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll be the last of the illnesses for the winter. But who knows? It kind of depends on how cold it is here, how much sun there is here. And, you know, luckily it hasn't been as cold here in Indiana as it was last year. Last year was so cold this time of year. So I decided I would jump on here and record a podcast when I could. Hopefully I can keep it a little shorter than normal. I have a lot of finished objects to show you guys just from Christmas presents and whatnot. And so let's get started and I'll show you. The first one I wanted to show you is a project I have been working on for quite a while. I have shown you the kit I used for it, and it is the Waldorf doll I made for my youngest daughter. And here she is. I think she is so beautiful. I think she turned out so well. I'm incredibly pleased with how she turned out. And she is just such a pretty doll, I think. And so let me just go through and tell you about her. I constructed this doll from a kit I purchased from Weir Crafts, and I explained more about that, I think my last podcast, episode 27. So I will, of course, always put links down below if you're interested. But I've always found this is my 5th Waldorf doll I've constructed. And I've found that using a kit is just the best option for me, just because I don't do it frequently. Everything is pre-traced. I have just enough fabric, just enough wool for the inside. So this is just a really... it's a fun project because I don't have to think about the quantities of everything. Everything's there and I can start right away. I think I have made 2 dolls from the Weir Crafts kits, I guess. And I've used other brands for other dolls. And I don't know why. I think I just always, I never remember what I'm making or what I've made in the past. And then I just search on the internet for Waldorf doll kits, and I always just buy it. I don't know why. So I'm happy with how this turned out as far as just the doll itself. Yeah, the kits are just really foolproof, but here she is. I actually added a little nose. I'm sure you can see underneath there. And I actually this time put some lips underneath. And how I did that is I just basically took some wool, covered it with a scrap of this knit fabric, and just stitched it underneath, same with the nose, before I put this layer of fabric under, just to give it a little 3D something there. So that's not specified in the pattern, but I don't know, I just did it to see how it turned out, and I thought it was kind of cute. So that's what I did there. And then the eyes are hand stitched on. And let me go ahead and show you her hair. Her hair is it was included, this yarn was included in the pattern, and it's just a, I want to say it's a mohair wool blend. I'm not exactly sure. I can't exactly remember the content, but it's definitely mohair. I mean, if you look closely, you can see how fuzzy it is. And the actual construction of the yarn, I think it's a chain. So it just makes it super fluffy and light. And I just added some little, like, I don't know what little bangs here. I wanted her to look, I didn't want her to look perfect. I wanted her to look like a little girl. And you know, little kids have these little wispy strands around their face. So I just thought that was kind of cute. Just to add a little character to her. And I constructed the hair by crocheting just kind of a shallow cap, stitching it on, and then cutting strands all the same length. And I actually hooked them, kind of did a slip, I guess a slip knot, up the center of her head all the way to the top. And because I knew I wanted her to have braids. So I did those side by side, and then everything else underneath, oh, I actually did that around here as well. But then in the middle of her hair, I didn't do it every stitch, or what do you call it in crochet? Every chain, every stitch. Anyway, every little space. If I would have done that, she would have had so much hair, and I didn't want that. I wanted her to just have like a manageable amount of hair, and I thought this thickness worked out really well. Then I just braided it and trimmed off the ends. Yeah, I made this little dress from the pattern that was included in the doll kit. There are some really, really simple doll clothing patterns included, which is great because your doll has to have clothes, right? And then she also has some little bloomers underneath here, and I knit her some little, I guess socks or shoes. These dolls, the only thing that I am not a huge fan of with these dolls is that they don't have really great feet for shoes. So the first 2 or 3 dolls I made, I can't remember the kit names that I used, but they actually had feet shape cut out of the fabric. These are made just by kind of bending them up a little bit and stitching. So I may have overstuffed her a little bit too, but that's okay. She works out, and these are great. My daughter just turned 3, so I didn't want anything super complicated for her. And then I made her, which I love this hat. Can I just say, this is my favorite part of her accessories by far. It's going to get blown out a little bit, but this is just a really simple cap or beret I made from it's undyed wool, so it's just a natural color of wool, and then I stranded it with a pale pink shade of mohair, and I am of a mohair silk blend. So this is going to get terribly blown out. I'd love to show you the color though. It is really pretty, and I don't know, maybe you can see it back here. It's just a really pale pink, super fuzzy little hat, and if I haven't already, I will work today on writing up how I knit this, because this is just my own pattern that I made up. Basically, I did it looks like I did a 2x1 rib, and obviously a stretchy cast on, a 2x1 rib, and then when I got the amount of rib I wanted, I increased I think I increased every other stitch. So, and then just stockinette stitch up for a little bit, and then did a simple knit 2 together decrease every other row to get that point, and then just did a little I-cord on top. So just a really simple hat pattern, but isn't that cute? I thought it just turned out so well, and Super cute. That'd be super cute if you made it a little bigger for a baby or a toddler. So cute. Now she did have a sweater, and I don't know where that is now. It is 2 weeks after Christmas, 3 weeks. So I have no idea where it is now, but it's around. And yeah, so she turned out really cute. I actually made her another dress and another pair of bloomers, so she can be just so fashionable and, you know, gotta have a change of clothes. Oh, you know what? One more thing I wanted to say about her is that I colored in her cheeks and her lips with a natural beeswax crayon, and I have some beeswax, I think they're just beeswax crayons, and I don't know what the brand is. It's a German brand, but they're in blocks. So if you're familiar with Waldorf type coloring things, that's what they are. They're just I don't know, I'll link below. But that's what I used on her cheeks and her lips, just to give her a little color. And I think she's cute. Now I do want to say, and this is it's really funny to me. It's I guess it's sad. My oldest daughter has such a sweet heart, and she is pretty sad about this. But my daughter, so my youngest daughter, who I made this for, doesn't like this doll. She does not like this doll. And so my oldest daughter, this is just a real sweet girl, she has kind of adopted her and has been taking care of her, which is really sad. But yeah, my daughter doesn't like her a bit. Doesn't like her. And she's a really sweet girl too. But she asked me to please wrap it up and give it back to Santa. That's how much she doesn't like this doll. So, you know, you can't make kids like things, but I think she turned out really cute, and I had a really fun time making her, so I'm sure in my house someone will take care of this doll and love on her, so she will not be abandoned. But that is the Waldorf doll. I thought I'd update you on her progress. All of these projects I show you today I made for my children, so I just thought I would put that out there. I actually made 2 very, very cute hats for Christmas gifts, and I shipped them off, sent them away before I even took pictures of them, which is just poor planning on my part. But like I said, it was a little crazy, and that was kind of the last thing on my mind, is taking pictures of my projects. I just really was trying to get the gifts out of the door. I actually made more things than this leading up to Christmas, but just is what it is, right? But the next thing I want to show you that I'm gathering up here, I wanted to show you all of the socks I made for my kids for Christmas. And I didn't do this last year, but the year before I knit all of my children's socks, and it was really fun. It was a Christmas yarn color I had dyed, and I tried to get all of their socks knit from one skein, and I did have an accent color, but I did pretty well. I had the last sock I made was a bit of a Frankenstein patched together type sock, and it looked awesome. I mean, it looked great, but that's kind of where I went this year as well. The yarn I used, and the reason I haven't been able to show you these as I've been knitting, this was actually my special colorway I knit, my Advent 2018 colorway, and this is how they turned out. I think that they are just so cute and really, really pretty blend of colors. I had so much fun knitting these up. So if you're not familiar with this colorway, I think I've talked about it a little bit, but I haven't shown you. So what this was an add-on full skein to my advent calendar for 2018. I was thoughtful enough for myself to dye an extra skein, which I kept, and I was so excited. So this was a really fun project. Of course, I dyed it on my gold Nani Twist base, which is gold Stellina, gold sparkle, and they're so cute. The accent is a skein. I have a kind of a partial skein I use in a lot of different projects, and it is my yarn, Pineapple Yarn in Heartbreaker. And I thought it was such a pretty accent to these socks. So here's one pair, and the others have been worn more, so please forgive me for showing you some worn socks. No one wants to see that, right? But this was another pair. And then my oldest daughter, she is kind of like me. She loves shorty socks. So I made her a cute pair of shorty socks. Those are worn. I need to wash those. And then of course the pair I showed you. So I had 3 good-sized pairs of socks out of that skein. The last pair I actually had to make opposite. So isn't that cute? I thought those were really sweet, and they're so cute on. The fit was great. I was really proud of myself because I kept notes while I was knitting. So now I have some really good notes for the next time I want to knit the kids' socks. But I thought this colorway was just so pretty. Just a really pretty blend. What I was aiming to do in this colorway was to use many of the colors that were in my project bags that were included in my advent calendar. So we have a really pretty blend in here of reds and pinks and blues in addition to the green. Of course, the yellow, I just think it's so pretty. I was super happy how these how this yarn came out, and of course always a little sad when something's one of a kind, when I dye yarn that is one of a kind, just because I would love to replicate it over and over because it's so pretty. But that's what makes it special. That was a good project and everyone loved their socks, and I finished in time, so that was a huge accomplishment. The next thing I want to show you is a hat. I think I showed you the hat before, but I wanted to show you how it turned out. This is a color, or a hat, I guess, I made with my Nui very quick, super quick beanie pattern, and that's available for free on Ravelry. Actually, it uses my Nui bulky base, which is just a single ply merino. This is an extra chunky slouchy hat, and it is just, I really love these hats, and I have made, I want to say 4 or 5 at this point, and every time they just turn out so great. So if you're interested in a free pattern, it uses this yarn, yeah, head on over to Ravelry. I'll put a link down below. But this colorway is my Mele Kalikimaka colorway, which was a Christmas colorway this year. And it's just a really fun blend of pinks and purples, reds, and the pooling in this is just so fabulous. I really liked it. And I think that's, you know, as far as pooling goes, that's just what you are going to encounter with a pattern of this kind and yarn dyed in this manner. You know, you're not going to alternate skeins. I suppose you could, but the yarn is so chunky, and it just doesn't, it kind of defeats the purpose of having a super quick hat and then alternating skeins. But I'm going to go ahead and show you. I made this for my daughter, and it is so cute. I think I need to steal this and wear it more often because it's so cute. I put this pom on top, which I think matches it perfectly. I was trying different colors with it, like reds, and I think I had a blue I tried, and I just thought this was so cute. But it just has a little bit of slouch on top. It's not too tight. I don't know. I just thought it was perfect. It's just a really great fit. I made this for my daughter. She was thrilled. She loves it. And I was able to use one of my new colorways, which I loved. The last thing that I want to show you is a sweater. And I don't think I showed this on the podcast. I haven't checked, but I started this before Thanksgiving, maybe around Thanksgiving time, and finished it about Thanksgiving time. And so you will have to forgive me. It has been worn, as you will tell. You'll be able to tell. It has been loved a lot. This is a great sweater. This is the sweater I made for my son. It was a great pattern. I loved it. It was very simple. I told you guys about this maybe 1 or 2 podcasts ago, and I loved it because you can use several different yarn weights, and the patterns are included, and so there's a lot of sizes, a lot of yarn weights, so it's really great for maybe just a yarn that you have in your stash, or a yarn that you see in a small hand dyer's shop and there's 2 skeins left or something. I think we've all been there shopping in small stores, and there will be a small quantity. It's not just 8 available, 10 available of every color. So this was a really great pattern. It fits him well. It's super cozy and comfy. I love this colorway. It's a really pretty blend of grays and blues. It's definitely a departure from my brighter colors that I normally dye. But I wanted to make this sweater for him, and I had this color, this exact color in my mind, and so I dyed it. But the only thing I would change, and I'm pretty sure I put notes on my Ravelry, who knows if I did. The only thing I would change, I believe I added more on for the arms, and so I'm happy I did that because he's still, even though I believe this is like a 1 to 2 year size, he's still a baby, he still has some chubby arms, so he needed a little extra room. The other thing, I tore this neckline out probably 4 or 5 times. It was challenging. I'm not sure why. It was probably just me. But it has a center decrease right here. I believe it's a double decrease. And that was just really hard getting to look right, to look finished. The other thing too is that right here is where you cast on or started picking up stitches. So you pick up stitches around the neckline. And so consequently, this is also where you end. And if I was going to do it next time, just to make it look a little more finished, I would probably start up here on the shoulder, maybe like right there. So just to, just so you're not ending right in the middle of the front. So, yeah, those are the only things I would do differently. It's such a cute sweater. He has enjoyed it. Not that he's he's not picky about what he wears. But, yeah, it was a cute project, and happy that he has a sweater. He wears it all the time, and it's just so cozy and warm for him. It's been great this winter. So those are the projects I've been working on, and I don't have any projects that I'm currently working on. As you might be able to hear, I've been a little under the weather, so I've just been kind of resting, and then we are getting back into the swing of things around here. So I haven't cast any new things on. I have been really wanting to start another pair of socks. So I'll probably cast on some socks very soon. Other than that, that is it. I Have not done a shop update for a while. Life has just been, as I said, a little crazy. So I hope that once everything calms down a little bit and we're back in the swing of things, I can plan a shop update. I do have some really cute things planned. I have some super, super cute fabric for some kits and some project bags. So I need to get on that and come up with the game plan for those. But yeah, I just wanted to pop on here and chat with you guys and say hi. I hope you're having a great beginning of 2019, and I hope to see you guys soon. I hope you have a great day. Bye.